The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble! You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He is our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
I don't know why I wasn't ready for that. Hi.
He's like, who is it? Oh my God, it's me. There it is. Next, he's our riddle. Inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him, but you love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Indeed. What's up, indeed? Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman with his puppy companion. It's Moses Magnum. Okay, I'm like, I guess he's not gonna say that. That's fair.
She wanted off, yeah. She usually avoids the camera. She's like, if I'm here on the desk, she actually just leaves. Like she don't want, you know. She's like, you're ignoring me. I'm leaving. But right now,
my dog gets sick of me too when I'm here.
Yeah.
Really? Oh,
But well, it's his bedtime, and he gets excited because he thinks I'm down here for him. And then after about an hour, he just leaves because he realizes I'm not gonna shut up. He wants to go to sleep.
Dog's like, enough. Dog's like
right here next to me, and I just keep talking. And he just keeps looking at me like, "What the fuck?" And just wanders off.
Look, I gotta lock Boston out of here because if Boston's in this room, this fool will be on camera the entire time. He would be like,
I kind of like
in the
that.
camera. Nah. Listen. Don't get me wrong. Boston's cute as hell, and I would love. Like, I'm sure that a version of me in this, or a version of Boston in this window instead of me would definitely boost the ratings of the show. But I'm saying, like, we got stuff to talk about, man. And it turns out until Boston learns how to talk and learns how to read comic books, he's a detriment to Fantastic Forum.
Look, you get one of those, like, I forget what they call, like Avatar animated things where it's you talking, but it's like a cat sitting there.
Oh yeah, we could do that. What are those? Man, Jay, what are they called?
I don't know.
Well, if we all had Apple, we could do it because Apple has that built in for your like emojis.
It's not.
No,
listen,
but
Apple's not the right answer.
I see ones that are like more realistic, like it actually.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like Apple's not the right answer there.
Apple's like
you can do it with that easy.
It's not the same though. We're talking about friggin'. What are they called? I forget what they're called. Not
a Vocaloid?
No, not Vocaloid. No, that's a different thing.
Either way, we can't really have Boston on here because we get demonetized because we can't show pussy on the stream.
Or can we? I don't know.
Loophole.
But anyway. There it is. Fantastic Forum OnlyFans. But
the F will be the with the word bubble.
So, welcome to Fantastic Forum. We do have a great show for you today. We are going to just be talking about whatever we want. Completely like free form, freaking free for all, free play Wednesday, old school Fantastic Forum. Because, like, I remember we used to not have topics per se, or the topics were real loose. We used to be like, I guess we'll talk about this today.
Back when we were like financially independent, we would go like 8 hours sometimes.
Right, exactly. Just out here.
Financially independent, he means broke and nothing to do.
Indeed.
Well, nothing to lose.
Right, long ago in the before time. So it's going to be a good show, and of course that means whatever else you all want to talk about. more than welcome. So we'll tell you how to do that in just a moment. Before we do all that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, the show would not have happened. So thank you very much, Scott Rubin. Happy Thanksgiving to you, good sir. And yeah, so I guess let's let the intern and yeah.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Indeed. As our lovely intern just said, fantasticforum.live. That's where you're going to go. You can jump into the show, become the 5th member of Fantastic Forum, or you can go there. Well, if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Twitch, you can go jump into chat. We'll take your witty chat comments out of the chat room and bring them into the show. We don't have any chat comments yet, huh?
I don't think anybody knew we were doing this because we didn't do a promo.
Yeah, we did a
there was a promo,
bit, but not. We did a little, but but it is the week or the day before Thanksgiving. So people might be traveling, people might not be in their normal spot. So we understood that not necessarily as many people might be tuning in on this Wednesday, but we still wanted to come and give the folks that did want to see Fantastic Forum the opportunity to interact, chime in. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it looks like we have our first caller.
The few that don't have families can. The few that don't have families can.
It's not that they don't have families; it's that they may not be with their families. That's different.
Their families don't want them.
Caller, you are the 5th member of Fantastic Forum. Tell the people who you are, where you're calling from, and what you want to talk about.
Hi, I'm Derek H. I'm calling from North Hollywood, not West Hollywood, not East Hollywood. Is there East Hollywood? North Hollywood, but I'm in North Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Andor?
East Hollywood's like silver.
East Hollywood's what?
Wait, you said what'd you say, Mo?
East Hollywood's like closer to like Silver Lake and stuff.
Yeah, there is an East Hollywood, but it's not as renowned a neighborhood. Yeah, as West Hollywood or North Hollywood.
There's a South Hollywood.
Yeah. I think that's just Hollywood, right?
Yeah, isn't South Hollywood just where all the prostitutes and stuff live at?
I mean, I don't know. I think you could make a
strong
strong case for every part of Hollywood.
That's Sunset Boulevard, which is south of Hollywood. So yeah, he's right.
Hey, you guys are you into Star Wars stuff?
Nah.
Derek H.
Yes, Derek. Watch Star Wars? Did you watch the Endor thing?
It's pronounced Namor.
I definitely have been watching Andor. The rest of you gents, y'all been keeping up, or are you waiting for it to finish?
It's finished.
Isn't today the last episode?
Yeah.
Today is, but look, just because today was the last day doesn't mean that everybody that was waiting knew that. So that's what I'm asking. Have you all been watching it, or were you all waiting?
I felt like that show went on forever.
No.
Huh?
No.
How long is this series? How long?
It's 12 episodes.
God damn.
Yeah, and they're now
Dude,
40 minutes because like 20 minutes of credit.
Listen, every episode earns its keep.
Chinese translation.
every episode earns its keep. Like I don't feel like there's a lot of.
I'm not saying no, but I haven't watched it after the first 3, and I don't know when I will.
Well, the first 3 is hard to watch because they had the sound so low that you couldn't hear anything. Everybody was whispering. Every scene.
I didn't have that problem.
They're like Empire, Phoenix, or Ferrix, or whatever. I don't even know the name of the place. It was I saw the last episode this morning. I did not even know. You wouldn't even know it was the last episode because it wasn't like a. You know how there's usually when there's the last episode of a short thing, there's like a big ending type thing that they've been building up to. This did not have that. I was like, is that it? Are they finished? Did they close all their little storylines? And then I look on the internet and everybody's like, oh, this is the best Star Wars series ever. I was like, what? Did y'all not see Obi-Wan or nothing? What the hell is y'all not see Mandalorian or Mandalorian 2? Like how's this the best one? Nothing, literally nothing happened in this thing. And then at the end, they're like, oh, it's the Death Star. They're working on a Death Star. I was like, who even knows? Who cares at this point? The Death Star's been blown up twice. That's like finding out somebody, they're building a new 72 Chrysler Cordoba. This is very important to the story. Like,
who didn't know that this was going to end with them building the Death Star? Like, that's literally like a month later, he's in Rogue One.
Nothing. There's no lightsaber. The only lightsaber that showed up was they stuck a lightsaber on the ship and had a ship spin around. Like, that's a lightsaber. I was like, what the fuck? Like, no, you can't put a lightsaber on the ship. How long does the lightsaber on the ship go? Is that does it go to infinity?
I mean, it's not really a lightsaber as much as it is a beam of light, right? Like, it's a laser.
So infinity.
Tomato.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, like there were beams of light before they were laser swords. Like,
there was slingshot,
a lot like a laser sword.
Like any beam of light can look like a laser sword if you want to imagine a hilt at the end, but there's no hilt.
The ship is the hilt.
No, the ship is not the hilt. The ship is the ship.
I didn't like how they turned modern incel culture into a storyline. Because they turned one guy was a straight up simp. I love like chasing another girl who does not care about him. He's like, I love you. I'm in love with you. And then he goes chasing after her to a whole other planet. He goes chasing after her. She's like, what are you doing here? He's like, you needed my help. Like, bitch, like she's a part of the Empire. She doesn't need your help, little nerd.
She definitely needed his help.
And now I guess they're going to be a couple or something. I don't like how they're rewarding stalker behavior now.
There was a whole episode about her needing his help,
and that's being rewarded now. And that's incel. That's incel culture we're putting in Star Wars. I don't like that.
Well, keeping in mind too that you're talking about the bad guys here. Like, nobody's saying that these are good and healthy people. And honestly, I feel like that, and I feel like that's actually kind of the best part of Andor in general, because you can say that about the bad guys, quote unquote, the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? But you can say that about the heroes too. Like, nobody in this joint really feels like, nobody necessarily feels like they're untouched by the blemish of the way the galaxy has become.
I disagree.
Yeah? Who's the hero? Who's the person that's untouched? Like, who's the person that's like pure?
The little girl who they sold off into slavery.
What little girl? You talking about?
Mon Mothma sold her daughter off into slavery to a drug lord.
Listen. That chick is mad judgmental. That chick is not and she don't respect her parents. Though she don't talk to her parents right. That chick is not a pillar of virtue by any means. And
also, this show brought back the feeling for me. This is the exact same way I feel about pet ownership this day and age. They treat droids like slaves. and they have the same like what do you call it? The same efficacy, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But it looks like droids have no rights, and they are treated like slaves, and they're expected to follow after their masters and die once their masters die, and they don't have any like they can't do anything on their own, and so I don't like that, and I don't like the way Star Wars has portrayed droids as slaves, and they have real slaves in Star Wars too. And I don't like that either, and I don't know why they get a pass on slavery. It's wrong, whether it's to a
I didn't hear you
droid
saying
or
that
to
when
a
all those
person.
ladies were dressed as slave Leia.
Yeah. And that's the big deal. Every Halloween or whatever, I did my Star Wars thing and then put on a gold bikini. I'm like, that's a slave uniform you're wearing. What are you doing? And they all love it. They all love it. You won't like it when I whip you, like when I bring on the burlap whip and start make you wash my car, slave.
Well, depending
Wait a
on
minute.
people's body types, it could be a couple's costume.
Yeah, there's plenty of Jabbas on this call.
So
I know that.
So Oz, it sounds like you've been watching Andor. Do you agree with Derek H's assessment?
For the most part, I haven't seen the last episode, but there's a lot of stuff that actually goes nowhere. Like I don't know what the point of showing him as a kid was for like 3 episodes. I know that it ends with, you find out, oh, that's why this lady's taking care of him, or his mom, but that's it. Like I thought that was gonna go somewhere. Like unless they do something in the last episode.
Nope.
That's it. And it feels like he's not doing anything important, and all the important things in the universe are happening around him, and he's just kind of like Forrest Gumping himself through life and getting caught up here and there, and he doesn't do anything I care about until Rogue One. And even then, he's not the main character of Rogue One. That's what's her face?
And
Jyn
it
Erso.
dies in Rogue One.
That's not
Spoiler
the
alert.
point. So does the main character. That's not the point.
Yeah,
But
everybody dies.
just because he doesn't do something that you don't like till his first appearance, which is actually his last, like you don't want to see a story of the past, or it's just not a good enough story.
I want to see I like the parts that he's not in. Like I like how the Empire is overreaching and doing it. Even like kind of the senator stuff was a little bit boring, but I can see like the wheels moving. This show, it's called Andor. He's the main character. I expect him to be involved in the events going on, and he's just kind of like a side character in his own show. Everything else around him is interesting. I like the whole prison stuff. That all was an interesting concept. I like watching that and how what ends up happening when the Empire overreaches again and all that.
It took them 3 episodes to get out of there, though. I had to watch them put together a pipe fitting for 3 episodes. I don't need that.
So yeah, they could have shortened the episodes down a little bit, but yeah, every episode, interesting things happen. None of them really have much to do with him. He's just kind of there. And I say that liking the show, like overall, I like the show, but I don't know why he's the title character.
Every 3 episodes, they would set something up, and then it would be over at the end of that 3rd episode, and they would start another setting up, and then that would be over. It got. I was like, who cares? Like, and plus, I don't know why they keep telling stories about people we know are going to show up in the movies, because we know he's not going to die. We know he's getting out of prison because he has to show up on Rogue One. We know he's not going to get tortured to death. We know he's going to get out of every situation because he's going to show up. Like if they need a whole Luke as a child. I don't need a show about Luke from 10 to 17 or whatever. Because I know at the end he's going to make it out.
So you feel that way about Obi-Wan? Like they should not have made that?
Not really. I thought
Fair.
little 12-year-old Leia was cool, showing her stuff. But still, I was like,
A show about little Leia would be
this lady's not gonna catch her because she has to live.
in that one episode. Even the actors were like, "Oh, we can't catch her because she has to live." So they're like tripping over twigs and doing the Three Stooges like.
You couldn't catch a 12-year-old girl running through the forest. Like what? And they're
Oh, you see how
assassins or
long her
whatever.
legs are?
Look,
Got those long
I'm
runner
telling you now,
legs.
I'm a big fat out of shape guy. If somebody's paying me to chase a 12-year-old, I'm catching that 12-year-old.
I guarantee you that
That's our next video.
we're gonna
Subscribe, like,
film
hit the
Derek
bell.
trying to catch a 12-year-old.
Yeah, random 12-year-old at the park. It'll be a hidden camera.
Listen,
Fantastic Forum hidden.
Oh yeah, look,
Was she
and
12?
then,
I thought she was like 5.
then we
She
can
looked
do
like
the
a toddler.
documentary about his court cases.
Yeah.
That would be a good TV show.
Chris Hansen will narrate.
Like you take 12-year-olds and put them in like a park, and then the reality show contestants are like, say, they give a picture of 12-year-old and say, "Yeah, go get this kid, and bring him back here. You get $10,000 or something." That'd be a good show. I watch that show.
You should not watch that.
You're right, the most dangerous game but with 12-year-olds.
Like we're
Right, yeah.
dangerously close to human manhunt, right?
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Which was a show, actually. It was a manhunt
Oh, jeez.
with John
There
Cena.
were a couple of manhunt shows.
I mean, the one with John Cena. Like that's the first one I remember.
Yeah, the WWE had one. They had a bunch, and they had their failed wrestlers as like chasers, as hunters and stuff. And there was another one where the people had to drive across country, and they had the import was in like another state. They had like detectives following them and stuff. This is a good idea. I'm gonna bring this idea back.
Derek, what if did Andor have any virtues in your eyes?
No, because I was pissed off. One that they got 12 episodes, and She-Hulk only got 6. And I thought She-Hulk had more. Could have had more. I can't think. My brain doesn't work anymore. I'm dumb now. She-Hulk had more ways they could have gone. They could have gone more different direction with the stories, bringing in like low rank superheroes and stuff and court cases. I thought I gotta watch a whole 22 episode season of that. I thought it would have been great. This they literally had no idea what to do, and so they did nothing. And people were supposed to be happy about it, and then people were happy about it, and that pissed me off even more because now I think they're gonna make another season of Andor, which I don't want to see.
Well, here's the good part: you don't have to watch it.
Yes, I do. Shut up. You know I do.
You really don't. Like, no, Andor will be fine without you. Like, you could like literally just watch anything else instead of Andor.
The problem is he doesn't realize you don't realize it's so bad you shouldn't watch it until after you watched it.
Yeah, because somebody can say, "Oh, you see episode 42 of Andor? Oh, it's so great." They show how they show how Luke found a kyber crystal for his lightsaber. Oh, it was incredible. You missed that? I can't say I missed that. I have
Jay, did you watch Andor at all?
No.
Nah, Jay's like boycotting Andor. That's fair. I get it. I
just haven't had time.
Fair.
And there's a lot of other shit to watch.
See, look, you can be like Joe, Derek. Like Joe didn't even realize it wasn't good. He just was like, nah. And I'm just saying, like, you can
honestly,
huh?
I know it's good. Like I've heard people that I trust talk about it, and it's a good show. I know that. I just haven't had
Other
time
than Larry?
to watch it.
Or do you not trust Larry?
Like on Twitter, people talk about it. Like,
No, I don't think Jay and I have actually had a conversation about Andor, honestly.
Otherwise,
No,
he
we
would have
haven't.
explained it to you. Larry would have explained it to you wrong.
No,
no,
listen.
like, a lot of people that I follow on Twitter have really been talking it up like it's amazing. And these are people that opinions I trust.
What's
So
amazing
yeah,
about it?
I know it's
What am I
good.
missing?
I can
What?
tell you exactly what's amazing about it, and why. Like, I'm disappointed that you all don't like it as much as well. I won't say as you should, but as
Oh, Joe
much as
loves
I
it.
do.
You
Joe,
some
Joe
you
hasn't
some.
watched it, huh? Say what?
I haven't watched it either. You some because I haven't seen them either. I haven't seen it either.
Okay, yeah,
So it can't
some
be you
because
all.
no,
You
well, no,
some.
I'm not talking about you, Moses. You watched 3 episodes, and you would have watched more given the time.
No, man, why you
I believe.
exclude me like that, man?
It's a great sci-fi show in the Star Wars universe. It's just like Rogue One. It's good because it gives you a break from the space wizards and all that nonsense.
No,
That's Star
and that's
Wars.
The
exactly.
Mandalorian was a good western.
That's like saying Harry Potter is good, except for the magic parts. Like the Space Wizards are Star Wars. Without the Space Wizards, I don't care. I'd rather watch
No, see,
Battlestar
that's not
Galactica.
true. See, and that's what that's what I 100% disagree with, because the Star Wars universe has always been big
That's why
enough.
Jay doesn't trust you.
What? Who? Me?
Derek.
No. Like that's why Jay doesn't trust Derek.
Oh,
Because like
no, there
you
it
say a
is. Like,
comment like that about Star Wars, and it's like there's so much stuff, even more the Disney shit that is cool without the space wizardy stuff, or even with the space
yeah,
wizardy, but a different aspect of it.
Dude, Death
it's
Troopers is one of my favorite books.
dude. And all I'm saying is, like, don't get me wrong. I love Jedi. I love Sith even more, and it's like I would love to see like the stuff that we've been getting. Like, we've gotten Tales of the Jedi recently, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and we got the Acolyte coming up, which I know I'm probably gonna really dig.
We got
But
that cute little Baby Yoda cartoon too.
I don't know what that
You
is.
see the
But
cute little Baby Yoda cartoon about him dancing around?
nope.
Okay.
But what makes Andor a great show is that it's a slice of life kind of show in regards to the
I don't
how
care
the
about people
empire.
moisture farming. Why I gotta watch why
You're not watching anybody in Andor moisture farm.
and shooting wampas or whatever.
Yeah, see, but that's the thing.
Womp
It's like it's like and like I know you're all like, hey, the most interesting things happen around Andor, and I would disagree with that to a degree, because you're right in the sense that he's not necessarily what.
He's not
What?
compelling. He looks like he looks like he has
No.
no idea what's going on.
That's ridiculous. Like,
Look,
it's a
you're like,
crazy thing to say.
He kind
I
of
would
looks dumb.
disagree with that.
He
Well,
looks
I'm just
dumb.
saying here. It's like he's definitely not the character that's
He has no idea what's
always
going on. He has no
making.
idea what's going on around him.
Well, it's not that he has no idea. It's just that he, like, because of the person.
They're checking out his own people are going to kill him.
I mean, do you want to be the only one that talks, Derek, or can I talk some too?
No, I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me.
I'm saying, like, you've been talking. I let you talk a lot. Now I'm trying to talk, and you keep talking. Can I talk or no? No talks? Only you talk? Okay, thank you.
No.
So what I'm saying is the nature of the character, because what the character that we've known already is this hardcore rebel agent. That's who we've met as Andor already. In the beginning of this show, he's not that at all. And that's the whole point of the show. Like, the whole point of the show is to show you or watch the transition from this guy who's not trying to have the agency. He's literally not trying to become a part of the rebellion in any way, shape, or form. Actively working against it. And because of his own interests, there are all these forces that are happening throughout the galaxy that are leading him into becoming the person that we see in Rogue One. And that's what the whole story is about. So while I can understand where you're coming from, or where you're coming from, Oz, where you're like, it doesn't seem like this guy is the guy making stuff happen. It's like, it's true. Like the world around him is forcing him into different situations. But all of those different situations, which all in for all intents and purposes are because of the Empire in one way, shape, or form, are leading him to become the person that we know in Rogue One. And I feel like, you know, maybe you all haven't been seeing or realizing that through the course of the show, but you know, by the time you get to the end, it becomes pretty evident, I think.
It was evident that
So,
the Rebel Rebellion is made up of thieves and drug dealers. Those are the good guys. That's the good guys we're following now.
Hey, that's every Central American country in the 80s.
I mean, listen. This is the point of, like, this is what makes in my mind what makes the show interesting. It's like nobody in this show feels like they're unsullied, you know. And it's like
Solo was a drug dealer, right?
he was a smuggler. He wasn't a drug dealer, right?
No,
That's technically not the same thing,
spice,
right?
Right, the spice.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but if you smuggle, does smuggling drugs make you a drug dealer?
Yes.
No, it makes you a mule.
For free.
Does smuggling guns make you a soldier?
You makes your arms dealer.
It makes you a gun runner.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, a gun runner isn't the same. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not the same thing.
At the very least.
And even look, I'm not even saying drug dealers a bad thing like that. He just works on a different little moral slide of the moral scale.
It's like calling a truck driver a grocer. It's like, that fool don't sell groceries. He drives trucks. I'm not saying that. He's not an.
My brother's a truck driver, and I call him gross every day.
Okay.
He's not grosser than what you think, but so I can't say grosser, but I'll say gross.
I'm just saying, they keep telling us that the rebellion is filled with all these moral people who have all these moral thoughts, and they're against the Empire because they're about right and Empire's about wrong. And you turn out that they're selling drugs to little kids and stuff, like and selling their kids in the family. Like, I don't need that. I don't. No, but see, my rebellion.
See, but that's the thing. That's not true in the sense that there's some people that are doing that kind of stuff, but it's not all the people. And then also too, it's like, look, even the thing you're doing with Mon Mothma, it's like Mon Mothma is not selling her daughter into slavery. Like, what? She is comporting with
an arranged
tradition, marriage. Huh? It's an arranged marriage, right? Which like cultures today do that joint, and that's not, you know. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everybody's with it. I'm not saying that it's something that, you know, people should have to do. What I am saying is, you know, you can't mess around and make it seem as though everyone that's ever been in an arranged marriage is basically a sex slave. Like, that's not true.
Martha is married to that dude because it was arranged.
Yeah, big man in. Oh wait, big man chat. What? Go ahead, Derek.
I'm saying when the girl is 14 years old, I don't know how you guys are justifying that by saying it's their culture, because I can go to the South and find a bunch of 40-year-old girls with 50-year-old men and say, oh, that's the culture.
Wait, I thought the drug dealer's kid was 14 also.
It's true.
You know he's gonna get a taste. You know, come on.
No, I don't know that. but also, if you say you go down to the South, like if you're talking about to the South, like to the South in America, it's like, that's not the culture. Like, that is something different. Like, you know, like, you can't mess around. And I'm not saying that maybe that happens over there, but it's not looked upon like, oh, well, that's normal, or that's how we do things here and out in the open. That's not how that is.
Okay, your child slavery stuff, I'm going to get off of then, since you're all obviously pro child slavery.
What I'm hearing is Derek hates our Indian brethren.
I don't think they're 14 years old when they're
They're
doing
normal.
They're actually younger. And some people get set up like when they're born, they're already prearranged to get married.
that.
Yeah,
What happens when you sign
like
up for the
before they're born,
rebellion?
it's like, oh, when you guys have your kid.
I said, what happens when
So,
you sign up for rebellion
Big
and
Man
find
in
out
chat
that they turned you out, they turned you over, and all your friends are killed because they wanted to keep their imperial spy in place. It was like, I thought we were the good guys.
I mean, look,
that leads right into this comment.
he gave the choice. He's like, look, either this guy dies, either we lose our guy inside, or we lose these guys, but we keep our asset and keep this going. Like, he actually explains that decision, and it's a no-win decision either way.
Right. Like Big Man in chat says, I like everyone in Andor is in a gray area, even the rebels. And yeah, and that's what makes it interesting.
Like, he was upfront and honest. Like, so I was like, well, how do I know you're not gonna betray me? It's like, well, because you know too much. Like, you'll if they capture you, they'll find me.
Mm-hmm. And also too, like the other part of this that makes it interesting is like in the Star Wars, the original trilogy, like, you know, we look at that rebellion, and that rebellion is like the bright side of the rebellion. You know what I'm saying? But what Rogue One did, and what Andor has continued to do, is kind of show us like the dark underbelly of the rebellion, like the dirty part that makes the shiny part work.
And every time when you feel like there's an oppressor, and I say feel because of the example I'm going to use, you're going to have people that see it like, okay, there's a way to do this. Then other people see another way to do this. You know, we have like what happened here in January 6th. Like, that's their rebellion. But there's people that think, okay, if we go out and vote, it's going to be this way. And then there's another group that says, oh, if we just shit in Nancy Pelosi's desk, we'll get it done. You know, so there's different sides to that rebellion, if you can.
I'll put it this way: everybody celebrates the destruction of the Death Star. And I want you to think of how big that ship was, how many people were working there, how many contractors were hired to work on that ship that had nothing to do with the Empire. There's just dude's just there doing his job, wrenching on some screws, and next thing you know, boom.
Yeah, but they knew who they're working for. They knew who they're working for.
They're government contractors. That's it. They're like, well, shit. The rebellion wasn't hiring contractors and paying like that.
How do you know?
And no, but that's the whole thing, though, where like even this. Say what?
So even the stormtroopers, like a lot of them are not there by choice. They're
Finn
like
was a
conscripted.
stormtrooper.
Yeah, listen, and that's the thing where it's like I feel like Andor kind of better shows how it is people could be working with and for the Empire and not think that much of it, because it's just like, hey, I mean, this is the government. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it is right now, and they're like, hey, it might change. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people that are working to try to make the government different, you know, but it's like obviously from our perspective, we have a frame that we were given initially in Star Wars, you know, like episode 4, 5, 6, where you're like, okay, well, these are obviously the bad guys, but there are people like the dude that Derek that you were talking about that is like the incel guy or whatever. Like that guy, I don't think is a bad person.
Oh, I think he's a bad person.
He just thinks that the world should work a particular way and that order is better than chaos. And so he messes around and tries to help the Empire maintain order, because otherwise you're just going to have criminals running rampant. And it's like,
I got to agree with Derek on this one, because I was seeing his side until he did just like pop out of nowhere and start harassing that woman. Now, I'm glad that woman had the power to have a shot with one word, but still, the way he went about that, I was like, okay, dude, you're like if she has you shot, you've earned it. Like I have no more sympathy for you. I haven't seen the last episode. I don't know. Maybe they are in love. But in that episode, when he did that, I'm like, dude, look, I want to shoot you right now.
Yeah, I don't want to feel empathy for the bad
Derek,
people.
what would you what would you rate Andor? I'm curious.
I would rate it a 2 out of 10.
Wow.
Okay.
Look, if you were at the board, if you worked at the border right now and you came in one day on Monday and said, hey, today's Wednesday. So you came in on Thursday and said, hey, we got a busload of kids we got to put in these cages. You would say, no problem. I'm just here to work. I don't know what's going on.
That happened.
Yeah,
that happened. That happened in real life under 2 administrations.
Exactly. That guy and those guys. I don't give those guys a pass. I don't give those guys they're kids and still kids in cages. I don't give them a pass for showing up to work. The people on Twitter quit. If you can walk out of Twitter, you can walk out of holding a gun on a little kid. It ain't right.
I give a pass to the people that showed up and put that building up.
Who built the cages?
Who built the building that the cages are in?
What?
It's in a facility.
They didn't know. They built it before they didn't know. If you knew cages were going to be in there,
you think they knew what those cages were going to use for? You really think when they hired a contractor and said, "Hey, we need a fence right here," like they knew? Like they told them, and this is what's going to happen in a few years.
They had little playgrounds in it. Like they knew kids were going in there.
Little playgrounds.
They knew.
It's like all these little toys.
They did to make the Empire people okay. They're not okay. All of them are bad. That's why I liked about it. Used to be about these Star Wars that you could cheer for the good guys knowing that they're good guys, and you didn't like the bad guys knowing they're bad guys. And now all this stuff like, well, the good guys are not really good. Like, what makes them good then? What makes them good?
If you watch episode 4, 5, and 6, and then you watch something like this, you're like, okay, this is like the elementary school history class, and this is the more collegiate, more philosophical history class. You know what I mean? More nuanced and more in depth, and less about what's good or right or patriotism or not patriotism. But the thing is, that's the only way you get a true sense of history sometimes. You know, the great Howard Clinton. Go to the website.
People waking up tomorrow and saying, hey, the Nazi had some good people in there. They're good people on both sides. I don't want to hear that.
Listen, nobody's saying they're nobody's saying they're good people.
That's exactly what Donald Trump said. Good people on both sides.
Didn't we use them to build our NASA program?
You don't want to. You don't want to.
Let me put it this way: just sticking to the Star Wars thing. Everybody talks about how great Darth Vader is by Episode 6 because he throws the Emperor down that thing. How many thousands of people has that dude killed by that point? And people are still in Darth Vader costumes talking about he's great and he redeemed himself because he threw the Emperor over the thing.
Man.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
He's got a ton of blood on his hands at that point, and he's still like beloved.
All the Star Wars, or there are plenty of Star Wars characters in the original trilogy that are considered like that are on that line. Whether you're talking about Han Solo or Boba Fett or Darth Vader, and it's like we go ahead and make it seem as if like, oh no, obviously like those are bad guys and these are good guys, but Han Solo, Han Solo is the villain of some people in the Star Wars universe's story. You know what I'm saying? Like friggin' Boba Fett is the hero of some people's story, as we saw in Book of Boba Fett. You know what I'm saying? And the Mandalorian, right? It's like in the same way how Darth Vader had a redemption arc. So it's like, and I'm not saying that Darth Vader's the good guy, but at the end of the day, this fool gets to stand with the good Force ghosts, right? Like, whether he looks like an old man or looks like Anakin, however y'all want to make that look.
Yeah, how does that work in Force Ghost Land? It's like when Darth Vader shows up. are there other ghost Jedi sitting there? It's like, oh hell no, you don't get to come here. He's like, look, I see the Empire downstairs, so I'm here too.
No, man, Obi-Wan gas him up. He's like my brother.
No, I actually have a theory on that. Like that specific thing that Derek, because I had this conversation at work the other day. It's the same thing as real ghosts. It's all bullshit. It's not real. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Look, you're gonna mess around and get haunted on Thanksgiving because you said ghosts aren't real.
I ain't getting haunted by shit. Like I'm only getting haunted by heartburn and the runs. That's it. The food I ate is gonna haunt me in the big brown brick.
You might need
the stuffing's gonna look the same coming out as it went going in.
You gotta have Liz stop cooking.
Nah, I'm cooking.
oh, sheesh. Wow.
What I was gonna say, Oz, like you have similar rhetoric or thoughts as Derek. What would you rate Andor? I guess out of 10, since he went on a 10 scale. We do 5 here, but
1 out of 5.
Jeez, 10. Hold on, I gotta readjust the math.
No, just do it out of 5.
He did the fraction reduction, which I didn't want to do.
I'm gonna
count your toes.
I were between 7 and 8. It's not a bad show. There's just I don't like. There's stuff that I don't get in it, but like I said, everything around it, like the prison stuff, Andy Serkis was amazing. The concept of the prison was great, and how that all ends up was like, it had me like, oh man, that's messed up. So there's a lot of stuff that I like about the show. It's just, everything I like about the show has nothing to do with the guy whose name is the title of the show. So 8, especially if you
that's kind of Shakespearean.
Watch it. What's that?
That's kind of Shakespearean. Like
maybe
that's the fact that So that means it's a higher level intellect.
I only read stuff in English.
But
that's thinking.
Larry, I know. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're gonna give her like 5 old boys or something. You know what I mean? But, humor me. Humor me. How
the joint's amazing. It's like the show basically reinvents itself like 3 or 4 different times throughout the course of the series, and to me, that made it interesting and great because each reinvention shows a little bit different aspect of the Star Wars universe. And the only thing I was worried about, honestly, was like a Jedi or a Sith or some sort of Force user showing up, and so that was my fear, and I can say I had a great time watching it, and I'm looking forward to season 2. So 4.5.
Okay, out of 10.
No, out of 5.
Season 2 just one.
I gotta do 10. I don't do 10. I'm doing 4.5.
No, I've been taking a math lesson, so I know that goes to 9 out of 10. So
there it is.
Because I carried the 0.
As you should.
But Jay, what would you rate?
You all should watch it.
Review of Andor. He's not
listening. He's listening to another show.
No, I am listening, but it's like all his concerns and aren't really my concerns. I don't have a problem with lightsabers being in Star Wars. I don't have a problem with slavery. I don't have a problem with like a lot of the things he has issues with. I don't.
Slavery is
pro-slavery.
Let's clear it up.
Jason sounds like a choice.
I'm talking about fiction.
The thing I like
about, there's like I forgot what state it is on the East Coast still allows slavery, and
I think there's like 5 states that said it's okay this last election.
No, four outlawed it, and then one voted to keep it. And so, like, I'm not. That's why I don't even fuck with the East Coast right now, like, because I don't remember which state it was. So that's
So
why
they all
I
get
don't go past the mountains. And yeah, like that's some bullshit. But in fiction, I don't have a problem with slavery, especially Star Wars. I like their slavery because it's not, uh, at least from what I've seen and know, it's not race based or um,
Oh, you call it white slavery? Okay.
like uh, like it's not nationality or race. It's more like a financial thing, like debt slavery.
Like a class system.
Yeah, and so that
Okay.
I'm okay with. Uh,
In some
that
senses,
doesn't
it's almost
bother
like
me.
indentured service, right? Like they owe
Right.
money, or yeah, okay, bad credit. Yeah. I mean, realistically, we're kind of in that, at least philosophically, with our credit scores and shit, right?
Kinda. Like someone could make that claim, but yeah, it's like slavery. I don't have an issue with it in fiction. Even when it makes me uncomfortable, I'm still okay with it. There's the Gore, I think the Gorin novels, Gore or Gorin, where the math teacher gets like sent to another world, and their slavery is fucked up. But I still don't have a problem with it in fiction, even though it does make me uncomfortable, like very uncomfortable. Very misogynistic. Uh, yeah, it's like, ugh. But it's fiction, so I'm fine with it.
Slavery. It's like,
I mean,
It's cool in all the Star Wars movies where they say when Joy's walking to a bar and somebody says, "Hey, we don't serve your kind in here." That doesn't upset you at all? Because it upsets me every time it happens. What do you mean your kind?
That's
And
different
then
than
that Joy's working
slavery.
in the bar.
That's not slavery. That's racism. And again, in science fiction and fantasy, I could deal with racism. I don't really like it as much in dramas and things that are supposed to take place, um, like closer to our world, like the closer to the world we're in right now. I dislike it in fiction more. When you get out into like fantasy, science fiction, I'm a little more lenient because those are just, it's far enough removed where I can look at it as a storytelling device. Um, but yeah, like that I can deal with.
So Jay, what's the number
Of Derek's review, I give it a 1.
Okay.
Oh, because I came out as anti-slavery and anti-child sex sex trafficking. Okay, I see where you guys stand.
Oh no, that's
I
him.
mean,
I haven't done mine yet. I
I
haven't done mine yet.
think I've always been on this show. I've always
Y'all
been
been
the guy that's like,
child sex trafficking.
I've always been the guy that lets fiction be fiction. I I've said it a lot of times before. I don't really care about all the terrible things that happen in fiction. I even want terrible things to happen in fiction normally. Like with children dying. Like I love that in fiction.
What?
Except for
You
like
love
that
that.
one girl where I was like praying for her to pull through and she didn't. And that made me sad. But where I get my head fucked up is when shit happens in real life. Real children dying, I hate that. It makes me feel bad. I don't even really like children, but real life children getting hurt getting abused, getting killed. It just fucking makes me feel goddamn awful. And
when somebody writes a story about it,
fiction
you're cool.
is where I go so I can experience not reality. And in that playground of not real, I allow for a lot of things to happen. Like stuff that I would never. Oh my God. I always think about this when I think about like censorship and shit. Like there's this book Mo had us read for like to review, and it had like the most awful shit where I'm like, God, just reading this makes me uncomfortable. Like I do not like this. But it was fiction, so I could get past it. If you wanted me to do that, to experience something like that in real life, I would not be cool. Might not even be friends with Mo anymore. If you ask me.
Guess what our next video is? Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Jay's gonna witness and experience horrible shit.
I know we
live.
I know we laugh, but that's actually like normal. Like, how many horror movies have we watched where people are just disemboweled and decapitated?
I don't watch it.
I've never. I one time somebody put in Faces of Death. Dude, 1 minute in, I'm out. I was like, nope, no, I can't handle it. I can't do this.
Yeah, it's
go watch
creepy. It's weird seeing it like real, like in fiction, yes, but seeing real people killed is not preferable.
Yeah,
like sometimes it's okay if they're bad people, but for the most part, no.
Even if it's somebody like horrible and bad, like I still don't want to witness that. Like,
I remember watching Saddam Hussein,
but don't let me watch it. Sorry, go ahead.
I remember when I saw Saddam Hussein be hung, and it was like it was a little rough. I'd never seen a dick that big,
especially when you figure out he didn't do anything that they say he did.
No, he was hung. Like it's a play on words, Larry. I've been going to night school in college. I found out what play on words is now. I don't have to be so literal half the time. But clearly your college education didn't do the trick, Larry. But yeah, my review of Derek is Derek view of this, I take it as valid. I'm always halfway between Derek and Larry. I've noticed in a lot of things, even the stuff they like Derek likes it, like She-Hulk. Derek has a whole different way of looking at She-Hulk than Larry, and I'm somewhere in between. So it's a 5 out of like I lost the math thing, but I like 26 or something. So yeah,
it's a good
halfway
right?
between
those
two.
Yeah, I guess. My question for Mo and Joe is, I know we like to give numbers, and you guys haven't watched it. Between me, Lawrence, and Derek talking about it, does it make you want to watch it more? Does it make you not want to watch it? Do you care more? Do you care less? Like, how did that affect your opinion of this show, if at all?
Well, I already thought it was going to be good. So Lawrence confirmed it. We have similar tastes when it comes to Star Wars, except that he thinks that Bane is like survived his encounter with Rain, and I'm like, he absolutely did not. But
don't start, Jay. Don't you
other
start.
Than that, we're pretty much on the same page as far as Star Wars. So hearing his recommendation, hearing the people on Twitter talk about it, like, I feel good about it. Like, I think I'm going to enjoy it. Definitely when I get around to watching it.
For me, the thing that is a deterrent is how long the season is. Like it's not longer than it's not longer than anything else. But
as long as you realize
I have very little. I have very little time, and I can't like dedicate 12 hours with. I mean, if it's like 20 minutes of credits in every episode, it's like
Yeah,
what's 12 times 20?
the episodes are like 45 minutes long, but
Yeah.
like it after 30 minutes, I think it's done. Even though it feels like an hour. So what I want to do is having her Jay talk about how Lawrence made him want to watch it. I want when he watches it, I want a report on how accurate Lawrence's description of it was, or like does he agree with Lawrence? Like how we got the before, I want the after.
And I really feel like, as much as like I'm rating Derek's review, like I think Oz is kind of where it's kind of the in between, where he likes it even though he sees Derek's points and kind of agrees with him. And I know he would agree with Larry's, on a second viewing to a certain degree. Like his enjoyment of it might go up, just like mine with.
No why.
But yeah.
I like it, but
exactly.
I shouldn't.
Yeah, Larry told you why, and you couldn't listen. So
he didn't explain it. Right.
Yeah, he didn't explain it right.
So you guys will watch the show like a 12-episode show, following the guy around doing stuff, and then at the end you realize, oh, he's the guy that made the Fantastic Four's costumes. He's the guy that sews it. Like, and that was the whole point. That was the whole point of the
show.
I would love
to see the origin of the Fantastic Four costumes.
I know you would.
Like the guy that makes the unstable molecules. I think we watched that. That's Mr. Fantastic.
Look, I'll put this out there. I think the person that had the best idea on how to watch the show was my wife, who just said, "Okay, just play the part where it says previously on."
Wait, you guys.
And then if I got questions.
I didn't know you're legal yet. I didn't know you got a ring on your finger right now. Is that real?
I've literally had this for years. I don't.
Okay.
Fake ring. He just wears it to get the chicks. Uh-oh.
Did we win a prize?
Okay, Derek, thank you for calling, man. Love having you.
Okay, I'll see you guys in February for Quantum Mania.
Oh, dude,
sounds good.
You should come back before then.
Hey, Derek, you got your WonderCon? You got your WonderCon tickets?
I ain't going to WonderCon.
Derek hates people. You guys
I'm in a point for some reason. I'm in a point in my life where I'm not going outside again, which makes me sad. I don't want to get into it, but I signed up for that Hives thing because I want to be cool like all the cool kids, and I realized and it comes up and like I have no friends. And I was like, I don't even remember how I got friends on Twitter and Facebook. I don't even know. I'm not going to be able to read whatever I did to do it. I can't redo it because I'm not going outside and meeting people and doing that. So I'm just lost.
Well, you had a show back then, which was just you and a microphone. Like you don't have to
sign up for Hives. What is Hives?
Hive is the new Twitter.
Hives is what you get. Yeah. It's what you get to piss off Elon Musk. To get that Musk off of you, you go to Hive.
Do they have a blue check mark?
I think they do have check marks and stuff.
Oh, maybe.
Probably. I don't know. I sign up for everything under Fantastic Forum just to secure the name. Whenever there's a lawsuit, like we have way more things online with our name than the other guys. So
I didn't even know what Hive is. I was like,
I'm more interested in my social is honest and truth.
We're on that too. Yeah, we're on that too. Like the tag for your video, your latest which congratulations on finally finishing the Deathclaw. It was that. It's like thanks, to the Republicans winning Senate seats, we can now have the chain of supply back, and Oz can finish his Deathclaw. That's what I put on Truth Social. It's like, take that, Brandon. You can't keep Oz from finishing the Deathclaw. Yeah. That's what I did on Truth Social,
and it worked.
Got us,
views that video got
15 subscribers in like 4 days.
That's crazy.
Okay,
Yeah.
like I
So
said,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. I'm not I'm not going to WonderCon. I'm not leaving the house for nothing. And two, when Quantum Mania comes out on Marvel on Disney Plus, because I don't think I'll be paying. I don't think I'm going to be paying money to see that thing. That's when I'll talk to you guys. So I guess maybe not until March. I'll be talking to you guys.
I'm fine with that.
listen,
Fuck
I
that.
think you should return. I think you should return my
We'll
text.
see you
That's
next
what
week.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, bye everybody.
All right, there.
Later.
Take care.
Get out the house. Get a haircut, hippie.
Yeah. Yeah, hippie. Jay, did you end up going to go check out One Piece Red? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay.
I,
I was
I
about to
did
say,
go
like,
see it.
okay.
And I wanted to
th-
talk a little bit about it. Not so much the movie and the story and the characters. I don't want to talk about any of that.
Told you
I
you
mean,
didn't
I
need to
would
see the
have.
movie later.
Like, I wouldn't talk about that if anyone else has seen it, but it's like just me just rambling on about a movie I saw. Nobody wants to hear that.
That's all. Look, that's all YouTube is.
But one of the things I found interesting is, okay, so it did really poorly at the box office.
I didn't
And
even
this
know it
is
was
in the
out.
wake.
I didn't even know it was out. Did it come out this weekend? Last weekend?
It came out, I think, the week before Black Panther.
Honestly, I hadn't even heard about it till you said, "Hey, we should talk about this."
And that's part of the issue. Is like there was almost no advertising for this movie. And I believe that is because of how unpopular the show is in the US and how the
Is One Piece
movies.
unpopular in the U.S.?
Yes.
Oh.
It's got like a really bad reputation from when 4Kids was handling the dub, and it never quite recovered from that. So it does have its fans, but it's nothing like Dragon Ball or shit. What's my dude? Kimetsu no Kaiba.
Chainsaw Man.
Demon
Chainsaw Man?
Slayer.
Oh.
That too. Chainsaw Man. Yeah,
He's
nowhere
technically a
near.
Demon Slayer.
Right. But it's nowhere near as popular as that. But it is kind of interesting to think in the fact that like it is a major release, but like where you have Dragon Ball superhero competing with like the movies that are out, Dragon Ball or One Piece Red competed a little. Like I believe that the day it came out, it was the number one movie. But then it quickly, there was nothing new that week.
So it's basically like the only movie that opened that moment.
Right.
Gotcha. And it sounds like it still didn't hold the weekend. It just held the day.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it's interesting, but also this is like the third One Piece to get like a theatrical release.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was Gold, then Stampede, now Red, and each movie actually does better at the box office than the last. With the One Piece Gold bringing in like less than $500,000, to Stampede, which I believe crossed the $1 million mark. Just crossed the $1 million mark. And this current one, Red, is currently at around I think 4 or 5 million.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely doing
Gaining
better
ground.
every time. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like hopefully it won't be long until these movies are actually pulling in Dragon Ball Demon Slayer numbers in the theaters.
It
I don't know. I think I kind of like that for them.
it's interesting to hear you say that, only because I can't say, like, I have a lot of friends that are into anime, but what I can also say is that my anime friends don't always necessarily talk to me about anime, just because they
Mm,
know, like, I'm not necessarily like the guy that's into it at the same level that some of them are. And so, I'm more than happy to have anime conversations, because I love anime, and I still, like, I watch it
Have you watched
periodically,
Chainsaw Man?
but no, I haven't watched Chainsaw Man.
You don't love
Like,
anime.
I do. Like, that's one anime.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you
like,
watched One
but
Punch Man?
I have watched One Punch Man,
Have
but
you
I
watched
haven't finished
Housing
it.
Complex C?
Have I watched what?
Housing Complex C?
No, I haven't.
See, you don't love anime. 2 out of 3, you don't love. Like you haven't seen them. Like you don't love anime.
There's a lot of anime that comes out, Mo. I'm just saying. So,
Well,
But
that's
anyway,
kind of finish. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's one of the things I want to on after. Remind me.
yeah, but it's one of those things where to hear my my different circles of anime folks talk, like, One Piece is very popular, and don't get me wrong, they definitely usually put the caveat about how it is more popular outside of the US than inside of the US. Like, it's not Naruto, or right, or Dragon Ball, or any of these other, it's definitely not Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan. It's not these these mega franchises, or these franchises that have that kind of following inside of the country, or inside of our
mm-hmm.
country, I should say. But they talk about it, and it might just be the people, these are some of the people that are, like, I guess, the One Piece fans, where they're just like, no, but it's like, it's huge outside of here. And from what I've seen, like, I believe that, even though personally, like, I will say, like, I've never understood the appeal. Like, I've tried to watch it a couple times, and it's never done it for me. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. It feels real silly.
You should
But,
watch the fight with Usopp versus Luffy.
No, but I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like any anime can have an amazing fight scene. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even feel like a fantastic
just in
fight.
In general, just going and watching that fight scene is really good. Like, I don't know if it'll make you, like, I'm not saying that to make you like One Piece. I'm just saying that that's a really good fight that you should watch.
Yeah, absolute. No, I believe it. And I love watching random anime fight scenes. And sometimes they're good enough where I'm like, what anime is this? Like, sometimes that does happen where I'm like, what is this? But a lot of time I'm just like, wow, that was cool. It's like, I don't necessarily, because, it's like, for me, I'm like, dude, if somebody's not trying to tell me about the story, then that makes me feel like maybe the story's not there, but yeah. But anyway, all that to say, One Piece is popular. You're right. Like, it is more popular outside the US than inside, but to hear you say it like that, I'm like, man, I didn't realize it was like that low pro over here. Because you see a lot of Luffy's at conventions.
Oh yeah, like, yeah,
It's easy.
that One Piece definitely does have its following in the US. It's just not as big as your Dragon Ball following,
right?
Or your, like, other major followings.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Bo.
And that's one of the things I was getting. Like, there's so much anime, like, accessible now. Like, when we were getting into anime as teenagers, like, we didn't have, like, Crunchyroll. Like, we watch whatever we can get our hands on, even if it was just like romance anime. one-off movie that you don't even know who wrote it or anything. It's just, wow, a Wind Named Amnesia sounds like a good name, and it's anime. It's what they have this week. This is what I'm gonna get, you know. And it's like, you know, I hear about like there's stuff I've heard like that story Wind Named Amnesia. Like I heard in a couple metal albums just done, and I'm like, I only get the song lyrics because I've watched that, and it's super like rare, you know, especially back then. Now it's, you know, when you have something like, you know, One Piece came here when it was a little more limited, not as limited as it was for us, but there was an anime block on like Fox Kids when One Piece started coming out. And I think, I don't know, like with this new, how do you market like a One Piece movie now when you have a world with people like liking stuff that's, because like you said, Larry, like it's a little silly. Like, what's the look? I go to Larry, he leaves.
He scared him off.
Regular.
I'm sorry. Here, no, go ahead. Go ahead, continue. I'll be like, say your point first, and I'll answer, and then I'll be right back.
I don't know why someone on that.
What?
I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to see how many fuck yous I can fit in real quick. Where's this other fuck you?
You're saying One Piece is silly.
Larry.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like the appeal, like it's almost like a nostalgic. At least I feel like it would be almost a nostalgic thing, even the marketing of it. Whereas, and I guess Dragon Ball too, but I don't know, like how do they drop the ball in promotion? I guess is the case. Where I'm going, I don't, you know, you got a lot of, I don't know, like where do you drop the ball in promotion with One Piece is my question, and I don't know if you guys even have the answer, but I want you to think about it.
You don't spend a lot of money advertising something that you don't think is going to sell, and based on how the films have performed, they kind of know like what kind of returns are going to get. So I feel like, like it's basically they don't expect to get much, so they only advertise very nichely.
And I think it's that might be that. Look, we might have to get a little Fantastic Forum consulting, because it's one of those things where it's like, but how many have those been promoted equally the same or more in the past?
Well, I saw as much promotion for Red as I saw for Stampede and Gold, which is a poster in the movie theater when I was going to see something else, letting me know that it was coming.
Because I know I've seen like Studio Ghibli stuff. I see everywhere, even back then when anime wasn't as popular, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like it was a lot, but it was like the LA Weekly, the New Times, you know. I would read specifically for Princess Mononoke. That's where I saw it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is anime in theater? You know, I don't have to like fight some fat dude, another fat dude over like Macross tapes at 2012. Like I could go to the theater.
Well, Princess Mononoke is unique in that when it came to theaters, it was promoted as more like an art house film. Mm-hmm. So it would get in your LA weeklies and all your indie scene mags would have been talking about it. Also, back when Princess Mononoke came out, newspapers still existed and had actual relevance.
Yeah, that's true.
And an ad in the newspaper is a lot cheaper than getting your stuff onto billboards or onto the right web pages.
You know, also
I do
too,
feel
I will say that
now with social media, like social media is kind of your newspaper. Like I know I get for some reason my news section says, "Oh, Kim Kardashian is wearing these shorts with these high boots in the news section," and I'm like, I'm sure if they put $30 in their studio wallet, the studio funding in their Facebook wallet, I can probably maybe get a One Piece ad or news story article posted instead of Kim Kardashian's boots, you know. So it's like there is like the newspaper model. I don't like the newspaper's dead. I don't. I just think it's just not paper anymore. Like I think you can still use that similar type of marketing now because you're essentially reading mini articles every time you read a post, and if you insert op-ed or a pay, like the old magazines where you had a scientific study that was really an ad in between your posts. We get that all the time for all sorts of information or misinformation or opinions of things that you think whatever side you're on of things you see. So look, if I could see less things that make me hate my fellow human and maybe see a One Piece thing, like it's worth the $30 a week in the budget for a Facebook pay post, right? Especially if it's One Piece, Or I don't even care about One Piece, but I would have liked to know that it's in theaters.
Right.
I feel like
I'm trying to get I know trying to watch it, we try to get a review copy. Sorry, Larry, but it's just like I don't like that One Piece, that it's one of the longest running animes, one of the biggest on the planet, can't make it in the US. Like can't make as much as Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2 should have had the fate of One Piece Red. They should have been commiserating at the bar together, or have cult success together.
I was gonna say that I find that what people talk about when they talk to me about One Piece and like why it's good is like the characters, right? And people say like the characters are interesting and unique. And what I can tell you is that doesn't come across at all. Like, like I don't feel like One Piece markets their individual characters in the same way like some other animes do. Whether you're talking about like something like think about Naruto, think about My Hero Academia. You know what I'm saying? Like you see like just one character by themselves, and it makes you be like, who is that and what's their story? I don't know. I've never seen a One Piece character that made me feel that way. And people have told me about them, and I'm like, oh, okay, like that does sound interesting. But when you look at the character, it's like generic, pirate ninja number one. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't.
Yeah, design wise, they are not all. They're not all like stand out design wise. I don't think.
And that's the thing. Like it's not even so much like stand out as just interesting. Like when you see like Kakashi, you're like, that dude has a story. You know what I'm saying? Or even think about like the Akatsuki. And I'm leaning Naruto because I like Naruto. But like the Akatsuki are so iconic, people don't even know who they are necessarily. They just know the robes. You know what I'm saying? Like they just like the uniform is a thing where cats like I've met people that have on Akatsuki shirts and they don't even know they're wearing Akatsuki. They're just like, oh well, this is like the thing. And I'm like, that's wild. Like that somehow this gravitated towards you despite the fact that you don't even watch Naruto. Like, because you compliment somebody, oh, like your Akatsuki shirt. They're like, well, and I'm like, well, that's weird, but okay, hey. It's like it's transcended the culture. Right, exactly.
Like if you just look at a character, you're not gonna see that much in One Piece, but if you watch, the characters are actually really interesting. And have some interesting powers and stories. Like they are interesting. They might not look it on the outside, but they are interesting.
I will say the same thing happened.
Naruto came out like years after One Piece.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, actually, the same thing happened to me in regards to Demon Slayer. Not recently, but semi-recently, like in the last like year and a half. I was like, I went to, I was like passing by a store and it had anime stuff in it, and I was looking at these statues, and I literally called the person over from the counter. I'm like, hey, who are these people? Like, who are these characters here? And the woman was like, oh, these characters are from Demon Slayer. And I'm like, I watched Demon Slayer. I ain't gotten this far yet. You know, so I was like, it made me be like, damn, I gotta go back and finish this joint. Because I like, and the thing is, I feel like the characters I did know were already like iconic looking enough. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're like, I feel like the first like 3 or 4 main characters you meet in Demon Slayer, like they have that look where you're like, damn, like something's going on with these people, and I think I might need to find out. But I'm like in my opinion, Luffy might be the most interesting looking character, and that's sad because he's pretty plain.
Mm.
And I maybe, you know what, maybe I think I'm wrong. I can't say that because I don't watch the show and I don't know the full breadth of it. I just know that that's the guy I see so often, and he's not moving me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you know, it's a straw hat. I guess it's like, iconic.
When I first started watching it, like I liked the expanse of the world, like the way the world built it a little bit. And but I only watched like 5 episodes. It wasn't as much it's not that it wasn't my thing. It's that by that point I was already working. So Saturday morning cartoons were a thing of the past. Like I missed out that 3rd season of Beast Machines. I still regret it. I'm watching Earthrise now because that's giving me a sense of techno-organic transformers in the set.
Oh, Schmack. I need to talk to you about that later.
Shit. I watched that. I'm like, all right, I hope Larry's not watching this so I can say he don't like Transformers. But
that's hilarious. No, I'm not watching it.
Oh, okay, good. You fake ass Transformers fan. Alfonso
give me that hate. Empower me. No.
Alphonse, I don't like saying his full name in Spanish. I call him Alphonse. That's his Namor. But he says, I just want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat till you're full, eat till you hate yourself. And
amen, brother.
They saw him do that in real life. But the reason I brought that up is not to derail the conversation, but it's because he's the one that really told. When I told him, you know, One Piece wasn't my thing, he's the one that told me one of the first times I met him, and he's like, and he says it in his next chat, which is One Piece is a great series, but at this point, the length of the show makes me say don't watch it, and that's almost verbatim what he told me when I met him like almost 10 years ago. So
how many episodes
here's
is
the
it?
thing, you're like talking about having an issue with Andor for like having 12 episodes.
Yeah, I know.
I'm pretty sure like One Piece might have gotten to 4 digits already.
Yeah.
What?
I know. And that's
really,
yeah. Like,
I
think it's like the longest. We did a news story back when we were doing the Daily Show in the mornings, and not during quarantine. I'm talking about the 10 years prior to that.
Yeah.
Where it was at the time, it was the longest running manga, and now I think it's become the longest running anime series since then. But that's one of the things he told me. Like he told me about the characters. He told me the thing I liked. Yeah.
No,
I remember him telling me
1,041.
Wait, what'd you say, Oz?
The number I'm seeing is 1,041.
No.
Okay, Alphonse says 1,050 episodes.
It's so getting higher.
To 1,000. They made one while we were talking just now. Like 151, 1,051. No.
While you're bullshitting, they actually do come out like I think 2 or 3 a week. And they don't do hiatuses. Like they try their hardest to not ever go on hiatus.
The first season
is why they have so many episodes, which is why it's a little hard to like. I mean, I just not even sure how long it would take to watch 1,000 episodes or something.
Here's the thing, like for those that are old school Fantastic Forum fans, like you all can watch this episode where Jay was like, "You need to watch Naruto." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, Jay. Are you sure?" You're like, "It's a ninja school. You're gonna do," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And you know, at that point, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Naruto had 1,000+ episodes because it didn't, but it was definitely in the hundreds. And I know for me, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna watch this because Joe said to watch it." But I got really into it, and at this point, I've watched more Naruto than Jay has. Like you know, without I'm watching Boruto episodes right now. You know what I'm saying? And cats are like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Shut up." Shut your mouth. No one asked you for your opinion.
Boruto's a lot easier to watch without having watched the previous ones. Like I'm like, oh, you know what? I skipped the whole of Naruto. I'm just gonna go with Boruto. It's gonna be a new story. I know the basis, and I'll be fine. And it was. I watched a good the first season, easy, enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I tried watch what is it? Bleach, Blood War, and it's like I start seeing like this. How this motherfucker get that power? How this motherfucker get this power? How this bitch doing this? I'm like, fuck. I'm going back one episode 171, and then so now I'm watching that all over again. Yeah. Like definitely Boruto's a lot easier to get into without watching the primer, but for Bleach, it like they really they made it hard for me. Like even the subtitles just move so fast too. It's like I'm borderline retarded, man. I can't read that fast.
Yeah. Accelerated now. That's the word we use now. Accelerated.
Yeah.
Real quick,
I'm slow.
Tiger Claw earlier said, so the One Piece live action that's coming out on Netflix, let's hope they get it right. Netflix doesn't have a good track record at adapting anime into live action. I agree. I don't think they're going to get it right. Just because their track record is so bad.
I don't have faith in anything Netflix adapted. Like, I'm over. Like, I'm not, the Sweet Tooth, I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it for different reasons. It's not how I enjoyed the comic. Sandman, another one. Like, I'm not fucking I wanted to watch the Bleach one. I'm not doing it. I'm not even gonna try it. I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of episodes I still need to see. I ain't fucking with that Netflix live Bleach. My brother really likes the Full Metal Alchemist one a lot, and because Jay, as you know, my brother he likes to use the N-word in text, so he I know he liked it a lot because he just said Full Metal Alchemist N-word. And at 3 a.m. Yeah. That's how I know he gives it a 5-star rating.
I kind of want to check it out just to see the effects, if they look any good or not.
And that's one of the things he liked, was because it's live, so it'd be hard to pull off. And he wasn't that versed in Full Metal Alchemist, but he knew about it and he watched a little bit about it. Surprisingly, though, the Berserk Netflix is actually pretty good, but that's an anime thing too. I think it's just continued and they just licensed it, but it's not like a adaptation that way. But if you're looking to watch something on Netflix, $18.99, man. The from the team that brought you Dark. It's a new series that takes place at sea. Jay, you like nautical stuff? Because I know you had the threesome under the moonlight in the ocean.
I do like nautical stuff. I enjoyed Master and Commander. I do like nautical stuff.
Larry, you okay?
I enjoyed Battleship.
I'm just sitting here I'm like, man, I love how Jay just 100% ignored the whole thing about the threesome in the sea, but okay.
He didn't ignore it. He lived it. He knows what's up.
That's old news.
Yeah, I actually play that as a live stream, that segment, every Veterans Day.
Hilarious.
Because it happened.
fair.
He told the story on Veterans Day, and Larry was all trying to move on, like disrespecting our troops and our veterans.
That's how I do. That's how I operate.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that about me.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hey,
Thanks, Oz.
And
So,
like that, isn't that we switched topic? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I'm about to do. Tell me about this friggin' Transformers joint. Is that that's the one that's on YouTube, right?
No, I watched it on Paramount Plus. But no. What I call Earthrise? Is that what I called it?
Yeah,
I meant Earth Spark.
Right.
Yeah.
That I knew what you meant. Which
That
is the
makes
new
sense
anime
because of the cube. That's the Allspark. I got it.
Well, and that's the thing. They get the key to Vector like Epsilon or some shit. Like
It's not
and then
Vector
it becomes,
Sigma.
No, it's something on Earth, and then I don't know. It's almost like a body swapping thing, like Shazam. You know, like kids become the Transformers, and then my brother actually showed
I'm
up.
out.
My brother actually.
The Transformers. This is why I wanted to hear about it because I'm like,
wait.
This is how
when do these kids die?
They don't. In fact, they get taught by a police officer to respect authority.
and this is the joint with where Megatron's a good guy, right?
I look, honestly, I didn't get to watch enough. I look, the real conversation is this fucking Star Trek Prodigy because this shit's so good. But talk about too many episodes. I thought it was over.
How many episodes?
And every week it's 14. And I'm like, but I thought it was over like 6 months ago. So like from like episode, what is it? Like 11, 10, it stopped. And then like in like June and then October came back and it just continued where it left off. It wasn't like a new start of a new season. That wasn't the end.
No,
you know,
it was
now I was
two.
catching up. So I just mixed. Yeah. And there was a hiatus in between. And, you know, I watched it all up until like 12 and 13. And I'm like, oh, okay, good, man. This is good. It just ended. Like, I caught up right before 13. So when 13 aired, I'm like, oh, man, right in time for the last episode. All right, good. And now they got 14. And 14 was good. And I can see why, but it doesn't seem like that's the last episode either. And so then I put it for a little kid at work today, and then Earthspark came on. And then that's when my brother showed up, like at the second episode. And this is how big of a Transformers fan my brother is. I go, he goes, what is this? Because he automatically knew it was Transformers just from the look. Mm-hmm. And I go, oh, this is Earthspark, man. Transformers Earthspark. He's like, what is this? Paramount Plus? Or on Netflix? I'm like, no, Paramount Plus. Goes, man, I don't even got that. And then he's like, he goes, I go, it's like the kids are they're transforming in the moment. Like they were getting the power thing. And I go, the kids are the transformers. Like they're the new techno-organics. Because he really loved Beast Machine. So he's like, the idea of techno-organic really like, and me too, I'm not going to lie. Like, I love that. But, so I'm like, the kids are the techno-organic. And he's like, oh, like Animorphs? Yeah. and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, because that, to him, that's legit Transformers too. Like, he's like, he had the toys, he read the books, you know, as like a 30-year-old man. Yeah, like, he's like everything Transformers. He was like me with Civil War. Like anything that says Transformers, he's in. Like, yeah, he bought a couple of electrical equipment things for his house that he didn't know he needed. He didn't need. Yeah, but yeah. So I did enjoy the cartoon a little bit. It wasn't that great. The animation's really good. That the end of the designs. And then some of the little concepts, like this one Decepticon was trying to trick the kids into doing something because they're kids, but putting the kid's life in danger because really he's a Decepticon and he's like, he's bad. But the kids they don't even know what's going on between these Autobots and Decepticons. And then they the hero comes in and does things. And one of the dude's name is Mo. I like that. So.
when the kids turn into the Transformers, is it still like the kid's mind, like Shazam, or does it transform?
Yeah, like it's like it sounds like the kid, and they have different personality. I can't honestly give you a really good review of it because I was working while watching it, so I couldn't pay a lot of attention. But it did seem like it was more like a fable of like kids straying from what they've been taught and
Like-
the consequences that come from it through a Transformer lens.
Like
you know?
like a kid doesn't become Optimus Prime, right?
No. The Optimus has his whole role here too, but no, what they do is they find like when the arc and Beast Wars started like just throwing out these pods because they're gonna crash. So they threw out something that was like was it the protoform, and when these kids touched the little spark that was for these little pods, they got this little sleeve thing that was like kind of metal, and then they swapped the body. I believe they swapped the body in mind with the robot. Yeah. So it's like
Does the
kind of
robot
like that
mind?
movie. Huh?
That's weird,
I think
right?
they show it. Huh? That is weird, but it's not that different from like a 90s kids movie. But again, that doesn't make it good either. But
90s kids movies sucked.
yeah, I know, but
Some of them, but
not all of
I
them.
feel
Little
like most
Giants
of
was
them.
good.
Which one?
Little Giants was good. Star Kid wasn't, but I still enjoyed it because I was like, in my mind, that was as close as I was gonna get to Iron Man.
The Wizard was awful.
does the Transformers mind go into the kid's body?
That I'm not sure of. I can't answer that. I unfortunately, like, it's not like I did what I did to watch.
Dude, that would
that
be awesome.
basically to talk about Prodigy. But yeah, but it might. I would say check it out. I mean, just for the animation
I'll
itself,
check
they
it
put
out.
work in it. And even if you're like like for me, like I just don't want to do a lot of these things like that, especially these modern things when it comes to like Transformers and stuff like that. But I'm like, you know what? I'll at least know how I can hate on it if it's bad. But
Right.
honestly, like the kids were actually not that annoying, and I don't know. I was also like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it to see if I can show it to my nieces when I'm gonna go visit them tomorrow for Thanksgiving. So, like,
Nice.
see if they enjoy it, because if they enjoy it, then who's what I think, because it's for them, and it could get them. What I did like was a lot of the concepts, the sci-fi things. It was things for, and I like this about Prodigy too. It would, if I would have done my Prodigy review, it would have been that where it's like there are these sci-fi, almost, and specifically in Prodigy, almost like a high sci-fi concept for kids, with enough adventure to keep them, this could be the next wave that interests kids into science and shit, and even if like as a Star Trek you don't like it, but personally I love it. This is like, for me, Prodigy is where like the J.J. Abrams sensibilities and the Gene Roddenberry sensibilities really like meet and marry really, really well. It just keeps taking so long. Like, I'm like, this isn't supposed to be over. This arc was so good. I don't want you to ruin it. But
fair.
But I'm already like 2 episodes after that. So like they had the whole episode with the Kobayashi Maru with the kid from Prodigy doing it. And it's like he's having his struggles being a leader, and he's like, this is what the leaders take. And he's like, he's taking it, he just keeps failing and failing it till he gets to like the 75th like try at it. And even then he still fails after he did it right. And it's like, and then he learns something from Hologram Janeway and the other dude. And it's a great episode. And that's just the A plot too. There's a whole other B plot that's just as riveting. Yeah.
The whole, I wasn't gonna watch Prodigy until it came back, and I heard it's Janeway looking for Chakotay.
Oh yeah, dude, that is a whole other
Nice
aspect to it. That's really, yeah. And then so the kids have this perception of Janeway, and now in this latest episode, Janeway, the kids are the villains because they blew up that space station. So Janeway's hunting them down because they think that that bad dude is like the victim of these kids.
Yeah.
Children villains. There you go.
And
Not mad at that.
they use one of the things that happened in like season 3 of the original series. Like a red shirt got stranded on a planet, so he broke the Prime Directive by teaching these people about Starfleet. And they interpret it as religion, so they're waiting for the return of Starflight because over the decades it just stopped. Like they got the details wrong, and so they're like living. The whole planet is living the religion of Starfleet and their mission, and it's cool when they see the kids, and the kids they're like they don't know we're not Starfleet. Yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah,
but that's a
check that
review
out too.
show. I didn't. Yeah, I watched the 12 episodes in one sitting. Like once I got past the second episode, I'm like, man, this is actually really good. And here we are.
There it is.
What I really want to talk about was this fucking Marvel Snap.
Yeah.
I love Sunspot.
Still not.
I know there's news, Larry. We'll get to that. Yeah. Hashtag sponsored, not sponsored. It's this fucking Sunspot, man. Let me share something with you here. I put some like really I want to say like by the skin of my teeth wins, which I think might be a mutant power. Here, let's see.
Dude,
Sunspot's a good card.
So often, like
so
I know
here,
when he comes out, I know what they're gonna do, and I just keep Elektra. She's just sitting there. She's just sitting there, and I go, oh, there it is.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah.
They don't ever protect their Elektra.
But like right here, you saw I put them
Sunspot.
Look, half the time they don't, dude.
Every once in a while,
I put him here in this place.
I have what's her face? Enchantress.
You put him where now?
I put him here where he can't be destroyed, like in Wakanda, where he can't be destroyed. And I think that's what I'm sharing. Is that what I'm sharing? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then that, like right there, like I'm good. I put him at the beginning. I got lucky that was the location. I didn't even know, and then I know that's secure for me, and I was able to, with the Hobgoblin here, I was able to kind of secure this.
Oh, nice.
And then just narrowly, like I lost. So it's just that if it wasn't for that Sunspot there, I wouldn't. Because even I think in my last turns, I did this Carnage Wolverine. I always play my Wolverine with my Bucky together, and then when I have a Sabretooth, if I can like hold out, I do it and just do all three, destroy all three with either. I like doing it with Carnage because you get the bonus points, but sometimes I do it with my my Deathlock.
Right.
What I hate is that Blade, like if Blade chooses to destroy Wolverine while he's in your hand, he doesn't show up anywhere else. But if he gets destroyed by the opponent's hand, he does get put somewhere else, which is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a glitch or not.
Yeah, it is weird.
But
I don't know.
And
either.
then
That's
the
a good
second
question.
one,
I need to be able to play you guys so I can show you how it's done.
It's coming.
No, yeah, I hope that never happens. I know once I get to Playpool, I know I'm gonna eat shit. Like, because I'm literally playing Larry's Destroy deck from our video. I did modify it. I added a Destroyer and Sabretooth to it.
And Sunspot.
I don't think that's what you have in you. And Sunspot. You don't have Sunspot in it? Okay. Yeah, I added that too.
No, you added
I like
Sunspot.
My Sunspot. I like playing my Sunspot together in a place where they can't be destroyed. Fucking. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say
Go
I
ahead,
think
man.
I did have the Sabretooth in there, but but definitely not Sunspot. It's not popping.
That's what I did. Because I hadn't had Sunspot yet, and so I put I hadn't had Sabretooth yet, so I put Sunspot in it instead.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
now I got a Sabretooth. And I just had the Destroyer today, so.
Destroyer's awesome.
But here's another one that's not as narrow. I started off here with the Savage Land and
nice.
The Vibranium mines,
so you
where
the
you get
fuel
these
already from the
Vibranium cars that give you 4 power. Yeah. So I just used like I don't, and then the Vibranium here. So I put the random card it put here on the hub was my Sunspot. So that worked for me.
Oh, wow.
And that's how I got this pretty high up there. And then I tied here. I didn't get to play my Carnage with the Bucky. I was hoping to get a Deathlock later. And then I tried to, when they doubled my hands, I got 2 Apocalypses. I didn't even get to play my Apocalypse at all. So I just I opted with these Vibranium. And that's how I secured that win. But yeah, and I hope Bryson doesn't mind being shown on our channel. I don't know who
Bryson's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Bryson's like, that was supposed to be just between us.
And then I had a couple. Yeah. Yeah. I did play Hex deck pretty. I played Hex deck all last week, and I recorded it. I still need to do the narration for it, and I don't know if I just haven't had time to, so that's why it's not up there. I know I teased it last week, and it's not up yet. But yeah, you can always send us your snap code on any social media DM or Fantastic Forum on.
Yeah, I got to give it a play too.
Hecton says, "Hey, fuck Sunspot." So I think I might have played Hex because that Sunspot, man, I get those wings, those narrow wings like that,
Yeah. Look at that.
Hex says, Hex says he got like 6 decks now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on my 18th deck, but I only really use a modified version of Larry's Destroy deck, and then the modified version of my original deck. It's like I tried playing, I tried doing like an ongoing type of deck, something geared towards that. And I dropped, man, in rank from like 34 to like 26.
Oh,
and then I'm like, you know what, man, go back to this Destroy deck. And then I jumped back up to 32 real quick. So I think I'm a Destroyer.
It's hard.
Like I can't. Yeah.
It's hard to not use what works. Like,
my deck
even though like I like
deck.
Your deck's an ongoing deck?
Yeah. Like everything is ongoing except for Spectrum. She's the only on reveal.
Right. Which makes sense because she's gonna power up all your ongoing cards. So yeah. Like
send me your Send me your snap code. I'll try Jay's. Like I could do a whole video series.
Oh, it's not good. Like I was on the bus the other day, and I went from like
spoilers. That's an exciting video somebody could have watched.
Okay, I will do that next time I'm on. I'll get my snap code.
Yeah, absolutely. And also too, I mean, like right now, like ongoing decks are like the thing with this Vibranium mines because those cards are ongoing cards too. So your Spectrum is going to power up those 1/4 cards into 1/6. So it's like that's that's good stuff. And they can't be destroyed. It's like, look, I'm like, I wish my cards could hide behind the Vibranium. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Speaking of Love Armor, she shut down this Carnage bullshit someone tried to do.
Yep.
Which was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I look,
because I flipped first, and then Carnage and someone else is like, can't destroy.
No, shut down. There it is.
Alphonse,
man.
In YouTube chat. He
What he
said,
said?
"I would love to play against you guys. Who has the most knowledgeable playing card games? That will be my main target." I would say that's me normally, but as far as this game, I would defer to the other guys because you guys have been playing it a lot longer.
I would say Lawrence
Look, hey,
is probably the guy for this.
Yeah, don't
for
put me.
that.
Yeah,
Like
he's
maybe,
definitely
but
the most knowledgeable at Snap.
I mean, he's like not knowledgeable on just Marvel in general, but as far as the game mechanics, I think he's got to.
How dare you? How dare you?
I definitely play like I play on instinct and math. I'm fairly decent at math, and I have a relatively I have a big gut, so my gut feeling
I can tell by the
trust it.
glasses.
Yeah, yeah. But aside, whenever I try to strategize, I end up shooting myself in the foot, which is how my life is. Like I just go with it. Yeah, I'm like a surfer.
Yeah.
When the wave comes, I ride. And yeah.
Some of it is definitely instinct. I mean, because realistically, it's three locations, and some of it is like I know I can't tell you how many games I've come to where it's like, okay, if I play this location, I would win, but if I played that location, I would have lost. And there's no way to know which way. Like in the same way how I'm like, okay, if I go left, or if I go left, I'm gonna win, but if I go right, I'm gonna lose. Is the same way how my opponent, if they switch it up, the same thing happens, right? Because it's about sometimes it's about, oh, I just need to make sure I play the card where they don't play the next card, and that's the difference between whether I win the game or lose the game, which is not even strategy. It's kind of just like luck to a degree, but some of it is psychology, where I'm like, where does this guy think I'm gonna play?
I'll say
and
this.
so he
He
thinks I'm going to play here, so I'm going to play there.
I'm up to level 43.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are right. The caliber of player is a lot harder now. Instead of dropping the Hulk on turn 6, it's now Devil Dinosaur.
Yeah. Or Infinite, right?
No, Devil Dinosaur. Infinite is easy to see him coming when nothing happened in turn 5.
You're right. Here's the thing, though.
I've seen it happen with Sunspot, but like I said, I know it's happening, and Electra's sitting right there.
And that's the thing where when they have the Sunspot on the board, and they don't do that turn 5, and it's like, dude, I get it. You're like, they could have Infinite, but they could not, because that 5 boost, I understand why you would want that at the end, especially on wherever that Sunspot is. It's like, oh, it can be rough.
That's why there's an Electra, a Killmonger, and a Shang-Chi in my deck. And those ones, I just throw them out there and like, yep, there's Devil Dinosaur. Now he's gone.
I will come meet you, Alphonse, at El Segundo and Western. Not tonight, though.
I mean, the game's on. Yeah,
if we go out tonight, we're definitely streetwalkers.
That would be South Hollywood.
South Hollywood.
I think there's a card for that.
So the new season is coming at the beginning of next month.
Is that when we can play against each other?
When
does that feature happen? When does that feature happen?
It's in. I think they have a
beta.
What are that? No. What's that called? When the game a development, not timeline. What do they call them?
No, it's timeline.
It is timeline?
Calendar?
Oh, okay. But basically, they have the development timeline or calendar, and I feel like it's a dev something. I don't know, but maybe it is
roadmap.
Roadmap. That's what it is. Thank you, Heck. That's what I was trying to think of. They have the developer or the development roadmap, and I'm pretty sure it's on the roadmap, but it's not happening next. The main thing that's happening next is they're introducing the token bank or token shop. I don't remember what it's called, but basically the thing that you can use to target specific cards. So if you want something specific, they have like its own little section where the cards are going to rotate every 8 hours, and when you see a card you want, like, okay, these collector tokens, I could put in enough of these and I'll be able to get that card outright. And even if you don't have enough, you can pin it and hold it there. And so that way it doesn't go away after 8 hours. It doesn't have to be like strictly a time thing. So
now,
yeah.
Well, did they say how you're gonna get those? How you're gonna acquire those tokens?
I think they said they're gonna come in the caches.
Okay.
Like I think like either in the caches, or I don't remember if they said they're gonna be in the caches or if they're gonna replace the when you're doing your collection level, how it has the power orbs or whatever, the things that you have to use, not credits, but the other thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
The little was it like not energy, but like the little atom with the nuclei.
Those, right.
Quick question.
Look, and
Alphonse saying he needs Domino to complete his deck. I thought that's like one of the free ones you get.
It is, but you get them at random.
Oh, those are random. I thought they were like set.
No, that's random.
You upgrade your card. Those are all. Oh, I didn't know those were random.
Yeah,
they're set.
Yeah, no, they're random, and that's kind of one of the parts that's wild about the game, is that and it's one of the things that I kind of love and hate, because you talk to other people and they're like, "Yeah, I got such and such," and I'm like, "Man, I've not seen that card yet."
No, I was playing people, and they would drop these cards that I hadn't seen. And I'm like, "Oh, well, they must have been playing longer." And sure enough, like a few days later, when I upgrade my cards, like, "Oh, look, there's that one that one guy played."
Yeah,
I didn't know it was random.
Like I know I encountered.
Don't get me wrong.
I encountered Onslaught fairly early on, like a couple days after starting the game, and I didn't get Onslaught till like 2-3 days ago.
Wow. But you know what it is that it's random, but the cards are in series. Like there's right now there's 3 series, and your collection level, like the number determines the series. So like under a particular number, you're only getting series 1 cards. And then above that number,
Would like tutorials say like, "Oh, destroyed deck pool 3"? Is that because of that series thing?
Yeah, like I don't remember seeing them say pool 3 in the tutorial or like that, but generally pools and series are used interchangeably. Like the developers use the term series, but the general public has been using the term pool. And so like pool 1, pool 2, pool 3, and like the more the different, like the higher the pool, the more rare the cards are. So hence, like for instance, like pool 3, I believe has Red Skull in it, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Like I don't have Red Skull. I've seen it a few times, and I think I've gotten it randomly once. But or even like Thanos, which Thanos is a card that we've seen randomly, or that we've gotten randomly sometimes. But I didn't realize until they did the thing recently where they gave the news, but they were saying that Thanos and Galactus are actually series 5 cards. And before now, the only time you see them is when they get generated randomly. I didn't know that. I thought people had owned those cards already.
I know people haven't gotten Thanos because I haven't seen anybody playing Infinity Stone card, but I've gotten him off of like that whole land that gives you a 6 cost card for 0, or Agent 13 or something like that.
Yeah, right. But see, that's the thing though, where I'm like, yeah, like I've never seen anybody play actual Stone either. But I thought the gems still get
not
that
if
doesn't
you
get
pull it, like if I get it from like Agent 13 or Cable or something, like it doesn't give you the gems. It just gives you.
it doesn't give you the gems. Damn. I really want to try
It
to
has
use
to
a deck
start
with that.
in your deck.
Yeah, that's interesting because
Yeah,
I'm just
that's what
like
Heck
I
was
don't know
saying
how
right
that's
here.
gonna
He said,
work.
"I got Thanos."
Yeah, yeah. No,
I like the fact.
Thanos is a really
So I don't know
cool
if he got
looking
the.
card.
I have noticed.
Oh, did Jay leave?
Alphonse said Alphonse was right. Larry got that game. Yeah. It was. We hit the 2 mark. I
Oh,
forgot.
damn.
Like I saw him leave. But I'm like, oh, he's
Jay,
coming back. We're
we
gonna
love
end this
you.
thing back, and then I'm waiting
Yeah,
for
I
him to
thought
come
so
back,
too,
and
but I guess
he's gone. Like, yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Now, I'm having fun with the game. I'm just not, the first month we had that like the Venom Carnage season, and that was fun. I finished everything, and it turns out I still have to pay something for some of the things, the perks.
Yeah.
So I didn't put as much effort to the Wakanda one, but I did. I mean, I did enjoy playing it the same amount. And I also just didn't have much free time to play it. So
right.
It just worked out. Okay, since I'm not getting this anyway, unless I pay for the premium thing for the month, like it's fine. And it's not anything like I don't think it'll give you a distinct advantage per se. But it can help, but I'm okay without it. I did buy like gold shit at the beginning, just the introductory like $3 thing. Just to see
Captain America.
Yeah, so I did that with the little variant. I know right now they're doing a lot of Scotty Young variants for all the cards. I don't know if all the cards, but for a good amount of the cards, I'm like, man, maybe I'll get those. I can't wait till they do the white cover card, like the Wolverine white cover variant.
White cover card.
That's gonna be so cool.
Just blank white cover.
Like my whole deck, like I think I'd pay money for that. Like get my whole deck in white cover. Like that'd be the shit.
That's hilarious.
I got
what happens when you upgrade that? Like, how does it?
Like just the logo does everything. The motion, the shiny, the everything.
3D.
Yeah, and it's just logo. Like, it's gonna be so great. I got excited because they played. Like with game now, more people playing it, and these new Scotty Young variants. The Scotty Young variants have been glitching, and they're all black, so it's all black with just the logo. And I'm like, the fuck, they got black cover, like and then it like so. But I was like, whoa, and then that's where I got the idea for the white cover one. Like I can't wait to pay all that. All my money's gonna get. I'm gonna redo my whole entire deck in white cover. Can you imagine a white onslaught? Like,
I mean, it's just gonna be like a white square.
No, it's gonna be a white square with that font where you could actually appreciate the font because it's on a white background.
Oh, everything he loves, white,
and that's like the 1997, like it's the 1997 onslaught font, like from after Age of Apocalypse or before Age of Apocalypse. So, like I love that's comic craft shit. I hope he's getting his money still. Yeah.
But yeah, man, like this Power Cosmic next is gonna be pretty cool, and they got the Silver Surfer card in that joint, which like it's gonna be interesting. Like I like the different things that they're doing with these cards and how they're like kind of mixing things up or whatnot. So it's gonna be it's a fun game. I really enjoy it, and I just like I find it very creative, and I hope that they just keep supporting it and it keeps doing well. Yeah. Heck says, Nani Surfer. I want Surfer. Nani.
That's his nickname for Norrin Rat.
Namor.
Namor.
Namor. And you know
Childhood
what?
fandom.
I was gonna make a meme, but I don't know. Like I'm trying to get the idea for it, so maybe the audience could help or you guys could help. But because you know how they say that Namor is the name because he's the one without Namor, Amor. But technically, if they loved him, he was the kid con amor. It'd still be Namor, like because there's still N after with in Spanish. Con amor, sin amor
Mm.
is the same shit.
Also,
So
what's up with Namora?
I don't even think they
Yeah,
call her Namora. I think her name
No,
is like
I think he does call her Namora.
Oh,
they
he does?
do
Oh,
call her
okay.
Namora.
Like that's the only
Yeah,
reason I knew that was Namora.
yeah. I agree with you
not
there. I did not know
not
it was her,
because
and they say it, and I was like, really? I'm like, oh, because a Tuma looks like a Tuma. It's just a
yeah,
different version of a Tuma, but
yeah,
yeah,
almost
Namora
like
looked like
Opie.
a sea witch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Listen,
I think I want
I
to see
love
that
that
movie
movie.
again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I
alright.
told my mom I'd take her to see it. She said she's gonna fall asleep if I take her because the theater like puts her to sleep.
Oh well, hey, some people are like that.
Yeah, I'm like that with books.
I never think it would be my family.
Yeah. Anything else y'all want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, I think we're good. It's not fun without Jay.
If Jay quits, show's done. Show's over. Like, no, no, thank you. I will say real quick, uh, just because, since it's free for all or whatever, real quick, and I'm not gonna dwell, but I've been really enjoying X-Men lately, the comic book. So, which is not a big surprise to most,
Comics.
but I feel like
I
like
saw the weird ass sinister like amalgam clones. It like that looks dumb. I hate it. I'm not even reading it. I
what
hate it.
what
The
sinister
sin
amalgam
books,
cone?
where they have like
Oh, the Sins of Sinister.
yeah, where it has like all these characters that are like amalgam of
Yeah.
different, and they all have like the sinister diamond.
Oh, I don't know that I've even seen that particular promo art yet,
Ah, I
but
forgot
I'm
you hate Marvel comics. You don't
wait,
actually like. You
wait
don't
a
read.
minute. What?
How do I know
Just
this if
because
you don't?
wait, I literally just told you the name of the event. So obviously I know. I'm saying I haven't seen the picture you're talking
I got
about.
Wikipedia too.
But what I'm saying is not like it. I think that event's going to be really good, honestly, because I don't want to spoil anything for those that haven't necessarily been reading up to now on X-Men, but I really do feel like it's going to be interesting and a cool event. Um, yeah, because I know, like I read Judgment Day, which was basically like Celestials versus X-Men with Avengers like in the middle, going, huh, what, but and the event started off much cooler than it ended, which happens with some Marvel events. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't necessarily as good as I would have liked. But I think Sins of Sinister, I think, is going to deliver. But that's primarily because it is an X-Men exclusive kind of crossover. It's basically Sinister's Age of Apocalypse. So it's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, books like X-Men, Immortal X-Men, X-Men Red, like these books are just like they're some of the best comics out there right now, I think, period. So I just wanted to let people know, like, if you're looking for some X books to read, even though I will say the sad fact of the matter is that this latest X-Men storyline is like kind of like a payoff if you were reading like Jonathan Hickman's X-Men run, or actually not even his run, literally just like 2 or 3 issues of the run, because John Hickman had a lot of balls in the air and he go back and forth. He literally like juggle storylines, but like you could literally read 3 books that were awesome and then read like the latest arc, and you would be like, that was an awesome story, you know. But it's just interesting because I was just like, man, like Jerry Dugan told like a cool story based on some stuff that Jonathan Hickman had laid some foundation for, and like kind of brought it back around. And I'm like, man, it's good stuff. Look, we got some Forge centered stories. Y'all, look, when was the last time y'all read a Forge story and you were like, damn?
When was the last time
My last game. He's leading my newest deck instead.
There it is. Nah, Forge is great. Yeah.
I was thinking about Wakanda Forever. I was thinking about Talokan Forever myself, not Wakanda Forever, Talokan Forever. And I was like, man, that's like I want to see that movie done in Snap, in Marvel Snap. Like play a game, like you can do it, like because we got enough to maybe do an adaptation that's not too faithful, but we can do use waves.
No, absolutely.
We got all this Black Panther Wakanda stuff. We ain't got no Namor. I mean, Namor, but that's not Namor.
Yeah, that's the variant. Like, well, when it comes to Disney Plus, that's going to be the variant that you're going to be able to buy for like 99 cents. 3 tokens.
Series. No, but they have MCU versions of cards already.
I know. I hate that yellow jacket.
Well, hey, but you'll like the Namor. This latest series has an Atuma in it, and I'm pretty sure Atuma does what Namor does, but he's stronger. So I'm just like, man, like it's like basically like an abomination, but that does what Namor does with that +5. Yeah. So I'm just like, man.
Let's chat. I'll play the final thought music. Final thought from chat. No more. No, that's not it. Final thought from chat. From Alphonse, old school gamer. I love the 8-bit art ones. Talking about the variants for the Snap cards. I got one for Quicksilver, and I use the hell out of it. And then
I haven't seen a Quicksilver 8-bit yet.
Yeah, I think I might have it, but I don't use them. But I got an 8-bit Hulk, and I ain't used him yet, but he looks so cool.
That's cool.
And yeah, with that,
the
final thoughts.
Yeah. So Oz, final thoughts.
Yeah, we're doing this the day before Thanksgiving, Wednesday the 23rd. And look, if you didn't catch us live, that's fine. We didn't expect you to. Thank you to the people that did. And if you didn't, glad you downloaded us and listened to our nonsense for a couple of hours. And hopefully we made your day a little bit brighter with our nonsense.
Indeed. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
What he said. Only better.
Ditto.
Ditto.
But we've been hitting pretty good numbers. We've been hitting good numbers in all our distribution. We're on other social media sites now too, not just Twitter and Instagram. We're on High Dive, Mastodon. I'm not running any of those. I don't know what we're gonna do with them, but we're there. Add us. Every now and then we'll add something, I'm sure. I guess we'll be back next week talking about Andor.
There it is. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much once again. And we do appreciate you, especially those of you that decide to come hang with us the day before Thanksgiving. We hope all of you listening either will have or did have an amazing Turkey Day. We hope you were able to see all the things that you should be thankful for. And hopefully people expressed how thankful they are for you as well, because we know we're thankful for each and every one of you. So until next week, we are the Fantastic Forum. Good night.